Hello, Marty.
Good evening, Martin.
Sorry to interfere with your evening like this, Mr. Castleman, but something came up that couldn't wait.
Well, let's have it.
Won't you sit down, Martin?
No, thanks, Ethel. I'll only be a moment.
I think we'd better call her Lorna.
Sorry. It's about Grady. Nick Prender's been trying to reach you long distance. He finally got me.
What about Grady?
He's been killed.
Killed? How?
Automobile accident. It happened last night. They found him this morning. He'd evidently been drinking. He must have lost control of the car.
Who says he was drinking?
Prenter. They found a bottle in the wreck.
Prenter lied. Grady didn't drink, he was murdered. They fixed it to look like an accident, but he was murdered.
George, you don't know that.
I know Nick Prenter. Grady was on the track of something. Prenter found out, and that's why he killed him. The rotten thug. I pulled him out of a garbage pail, gave him a start, the richest territory in the setup. But before I'm through with him, I'm going to dump him right back into that garbage pail.
That presents quite a problem, doesn't it?
Why should it?
I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Prenter the first time I was invited to your home. He didn't strike me as a man you could dump into a garbage pail.
I don't care how he struck you. You don't think I'm afraid of him, do you?
I didn't say that, but I was under the impression we were legitimate business, that an old-fashioned gang war was to be avoided at all costs.
Why should it come to that? George, you're head of the organization. If Prenter stepped out of line, replace him.
You don't replace Nick Prenters. You eliminate them. And you don't do that until you find out what's going on. Others may be involved.
That'll be a problem, too, won't it? Sending somebody else out to check on him after he's been alerted?
Yeah. This was someone he'd never suspect. Lorna.
You can't be serious.
I don't know anyone I'd have more confidence in. Anyone more perfect for the job. You can do it, Lorna. You're the one person who can do it.
George, you really want me to go out there?
Why not? Nick's a setup for you. He's always hanging around Cafe Society. Lorna Hanson Forbes, good-looking widow, lots of money, her name in all the papers. Why, he'd be pouring his whole life out to you in a week.
George, it's insane. You can't risk it. He's a killer.
He's a man first.
But it's too dangerous. If Prenter ever finds out...
Listen, bookkeeper, I pay you to take care of my accounts, not tell me what I'm going to do.
George, did it ever occur to you I might have something to say about this?
Of course, dear. I'm sorry. You can leave us.
George,
good night.
Good night.
Now, Lorna, what did you want to say?
Well, first I want to get things clear. You want me to ingratiate myself with this rotten thug from a garbage pail, as you put it. To the point where he'll tell me what you want to know. Is that it?
That's it.
Well, from what I've heard tonight, Mr. Prenter isn't likely to pour out his life story without very strong inducements. There must be a limit to how far you want me to go to induce him.
Oh, Lorna, stop coloring it. You can handle yourself. I wouldn't ask you to go if I thought there'd be any complications, but I've got to know what's going on out there.
Would you send your wife?
Why bring my wife into this?
Why bring me into it?
Because my wife is incompetent for this job and you're not. I equipped you for it. Every step up the ladder, every Paris label, they can all pay off now.
Oh, I see. What am I, George? Another wire service you've underwritten? A new racetrack you bought into? Is that what I mean to you? Is that all I've ever meant, just another investment?
You know better than that.
Do I?
All right. Forget it. Forgive me. I wasn't very flattering. I'm afraid I didn't stop to think. I simply took for granted that you were part of me, and the things that concern me. I know now I had no right to take that much for granted.
You had every right. But don't ask me to believe you've ever regarded me as a part of you.
We've both had to wait, Lorna. It won't be much longer. If you do this one job for me, I promise you, when you come back, I'll be free. Will you go?
I learned a long time ago, George, that the customer is always right.